Is Wight Queen Ancora the new answer that we're looking for to shut down the Fearhead in Hydra? Let's figure it out today and test her in that game mode. This fragment fusion coming up I think is super important, but let's figure it out together. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today on the test server? Thank you so much, Polarium. And we have Wight Queen Ancora just for you guys, ready to test. We are taking a look at her passive here today, where she is going to transfer the fear to herself and then remove it at the start of her turn. Let's see. I think that she's only going to remove it if the king is on her team, but she should still transfer it. So let's see how that works and if it's going to be viable. Do we need them both on the same team in order for that to be a viable strategy? Let's break it down and test it for you today. If you have not seen my previous video testing the king and queen for damage and viability in arena, that is a must-watch video. Please go back and watch that. If you appreciate the time that it takes to record these videos, I would love a like and a comment. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I always love to hear from you guys on these things. All right, so let's jump over and talk about this Hydra team with the Queen and talk about her strengths and her weaknesses. Now, if we look at her passive here, it's only going to cleanse the highest crit damage champion. So, what I did here was I did a kind of a speed tune, but with the crit damage and attack. So, she is going to cleanse, or pull rather, the fear to the highest crit damage. And in this team, we have the highest crit damage as Sun Wukong. But we have the highest attack as Blade Master hiding behind me here. That's going to be a little bit different. So then I put Ragash in here instead of someone like Lydia, so that Ragash will put the perfect veil also on the Blade Master. So then we have a cleanse on Sun Wukong and a perfect veil on Blade Master and Ragash. Now, Ancora, I think, would be a lot better, obviously, if the king was on the team as well, but I feel like, not that many people are going to get her. Could we put someone else in here for Lady Mikage? Absolutely. Maybe we could put a cleanser in this team. Like, maybe this spot should be Mithrala instead of Lady Mikage. In fact, yes, let's go ahead and make that change right now. I think that will be much better. And then we can mitigate the fears from everyone. So let me find her and put her in this team. All right, so let's put this team where you can see it, okay? And then Cantra, I mean, she's just gonna have to do her thing, She does have the passive to put the provoke on, but this is the team that I want to test. Okay, so let's jump in. We're on hard Hydra here, and we should have more than good enough builds for survivability here. All of these champions are built fairly well, but this will just give you an idea of the team on a difficulty where I know that it's going to be successful. And let's jump in and see here. Let's slow it down. Okay, so you could see Monkey King is not feared. He's the one that's getting protected by Ancora, okay? Now, I think we should probably veil here, and that is going to veil both of those, and then we can go ahead and attack. So, we're lucky here with some resistance because there's no real mischief target in this team, okay? So, Mithrala skipped her turn there. And I think that the Queen is going to end up getting feared a lot in this team. So this strategy might not work, but she does. I mean, this would be a lot better if you're manualing it, right? This would be a lot better. And I think that there are just some teams that you need to manual. And this could definitely be one of them. So if we manual it, then what we're going to have is the cleanse from her herself. So let's get back around. Let's get back around to her turn and go from there. Maybe we don't actually need Mithrala, but obviously she's going to provide some nice survivability for us here. Okay, where's the queen's turn? Okay. Wrath just like busting heads. All right, so her A1 is going to be completely fine in Hydra. It's just not really going to do anything. Okay? Just like I don't think it does anything even if the king is on the team. So that's unfortunate. Then her A2 kind of overlaps with Mithrala. So if we were going to put a cleanser in here, I would have loved Maud, that new fragment chick from, taking fragments from one of your champions and putting it onto her. But we don't have her on the test server unless, I'm mistaken. And then we have a revive. So maybe that Mithrala spot needs to be somebody else, but we'll keep it for now. It seems like it's going fairly well. Maybe that could still be MtgJedi. She does decrease the duration of the debuffs, so that could be really helpful as well. Obviously, you can see we're doing good damage here, and a lot of that is due to the Blade Master, but also my Ragash has some damage on him as well, and so does my Mithrala. So I think the strategy here looks pretty solid. We have how I'm kind of confused how the Monkey King got the perfect veil. Maybe Ragash's perfect veil can switch from target to target. If you know the answer to that, let me know in the comments, because I don't really understand how that doesn't make sense. It should go to Rathalos every time. Maybe there was a sneaky like decrease attack that changed it around or whatever. But basically, I've toyed around with this strategy a number of times trying to show you guys, and I feel like this is the perfect opportunity where you don't have a real answer to the fear head, but instead what you have is a couple champions who get around this, okay? Tumija would be a great addition to this team as well. Tumija basically doesn't get feared. She's going to place that HP burn and then not get feared. And, if you have her, she would make a great addition to this team, maybe in that Mithrala spot, as long as you can survive. Then that would be cool. I think that the Wight Queen might not be enough on her own. And unfortunately, we would have to build Ragash as a little bit better mischief target. Like, he should be getting targeted every time here. Look how many buffs he has, okay? He should be getting targeted every time. But you can see, he is not. Like, I don't understand. I put a little bit of resistance on him so that he would get targeted. If we had MtgJedi in here, those buffs will be getting extended. But sometimes with teams, you just deal with different aspects if you need to. In this team, we deal with, look, he had all of the buffs. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with the mischief targeting here. But sometimes you just deal with basically like the consequences from the heads in whatever negative way that you need to, based on the team that you're trying to build or use. Now, he got targeted there, and he has more buffs, so I don't know. I think that, building Ragash as your mischief target in this team is really great. Hopefully we're going to get the Fearhead to come back out here again. And then we'll be able to get to see this in another round. Okay, so what do you think about this team? With the fusion, are you going to be using her in Hydra? And did you find this information valuable? I'd love to know all of those things. So let me hear all about it. All right, so we have our Fearhead back out. Okay, so again, Mithrala kind of in a tough spot in this team. Same thing with Kantra. But you can see there, okay, we have this nice synergy with those 4 middle champions. And now with this lack of block buffs and the Poison Cloud here, that would show Tunisia being really good in this team. So actually, let's go ahead and end this battle here. Let's take a look at the damage breakdown. Did she do any damage? No. She did 354,000. In comparison, everybody else did millions. But I also don't think that she has War Master on. She has Arena Masteries from my previous video. So let's go ahead and let me get Tunisia in this team. I'm going to need to make sure she has gear on and whatnot. And let's see how impactful that is. Good thing I checked to see if she had gear on first. Yeah, she definitely did not. Alright, her gear's not perfect, but it's close enough. So, alright, so let's come in here with Tunisia and see what she's capable of. I want to get this started off on the right foot, so I'm going to make sure that we do the right abilities. Okay, Kantra, yeah, you're fine. Do your thing. It's all good. And then here, okay, she's going to take the fear the first time, but then once we have everything set up with those HP burns, she will not. Okay. Let's see here. Now we can cleanse, and now we can hit auto. Okay, so what's cool about Tunisia with her passive is that she just is immune to fear and stun and all kinds of cool stuff while there are HP burns. Okay, now the main thing I'm concerned with this team is we're pulling the fear to our reviver and cleanser. Okay, now obviously if you have the king, then that's going to make a huge difference on this team. Like, who would we even put the king in for here? I guess it would have to be Wrath. And then that would kind of change our setup here. So maybe we could go from Wrath to Lydia, and then she would be pulling the fear from Sun Wukong, which would be cool. We could also leave Wrath and put, instead of Tunisia, we could put the king in there. So we do have some options if you're able to get a hold of the king. I think the duo would be very good in Hydra here. And if I could figure out, like, the best breakdown for that, then I think you'd see a significant amount of damage from the two of them in Hydra as well. So this seems like it's going very well. It's very stable. We have a bunch of attack-based champions in here, and that seems to not matter. So between Ragash and the Queen, that's really our survivability, right? The only thing that... Oh, that was a nice hit by Rathlos there. The only thing with this team is that basically we have those 2 champions to protect us, and then we have damage dealers who are coming in here. And the nice thing about her is she has the revive also. We need more good options for revivers in Hydra, and she is going to be a very good one. So I think that she can play in Arena or in Hydra, and I think that that's really good as a flexible champion for your account. I'm sure she would be good other places as well, but to me, these are the 2 most obvious and probably 2 most common. That was a 3.2 million hit from Rathalos. So if you don't have that guy built yet, like, where are you at? What are you doing? Okay? Where are you at? What are you doing? Build that guy, like, right now, okay? I'm gonna let this run for a couple minutes, and then I'll come back to you, and we'll take a look at the damage screen. I'm not going to let it run all the way through. I don't think we need to see that. But you can tell, like, it's not perfect with the fears, but we are getting around the majority of the fears. So Again, not perfect, but still helpful. I'm curious to know, like, how much damage Tunisia is going to do in comparison to Rathlos. I would expect him to be the #1 DPS, but sometimes it's hard to say. So let me go let this run out for a little bit, and then we'll come back and take a look and see what happened. I'm gonna just let it go on full auto, so if we die, we die, and we probably won't though. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, so you can see here the Wight Queen did no damage again. Tunisia 12 million and Rathlos 21. So he did almost double. We had Ragash, Wukong, Kantra all helping out. And easy one key, obviously. You could one key with this team with way, way less good gear than what I have on here. And if I was paying attention, we could have, obviously done a lot better reviving and targeting heads and all of that good stuff. So anyway, this is, I think, a new viable option, but there are some constraints. And it's definitely going to be better if you have the Wight King as well. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about the blessings rework, because when I was originally having Lydia in the team, as you saw at the beginning of the video, I went and changed her blessings and did like a breakdown. I ended up cutting her from the team, but the breakdown on the blessings is like super important. So I want to put that in here at the end of the video, and then that'll go straight to the end screen. Thank you for hanging around till the end of the video. Let's go see that blessing breakdown, and I'll see you guys later. But with the new blessing change, you're going to see a static upgrade to all stats. For legendary champions, which is the main ones you're going to be getting blessings for, is 8,500 HP, 750 attack, and 600 defense, and 38 crit damage for some reason. Just random but fine, okay? And then they go like that on all of the blessings. So if I go to change and I want to go Brimstone, okay? So on Brimstone, it's exactly the same. And you can see that level 1 is always HP, level 2 is always attack, level 3 is always defense. So defense champions getting screwed. HP champions, I mean, they got it easy. All you need is the 1 star to get that HP boost. So if you have a defense champion, now you're like really trying to push for that 3-star blessing. So anyway, that is what it is. We'll go ahead and switch this over to Brimstone. And then also I wanted to show this on a 6-star champion so you can see the full bit, okay? Here is all of those stats, all right? Now, on a mythical champion, that is going to be different, okay? That is going to be different. It is more on all of those stats, okay? And then speed 20 instead of 15. Last but not least, why don't we just take a look at the epic and the rare as well? Let's take a look here. You can see the difference, right? And then it's just the 10% speed. Yeah, because we can only take those mid ones. And then for rares, we have this one. And you can see here are the stat boosts for rares. Okay, so you will now be getting all of these stats to all of your champions, and that's a pretty good indicator that you should be pushing for blessings, whenever possible.